Do you often find yourself oversharing, only to regret it later? Buddhism has some profound insights into what we should keep to ourselves. In today's video, we delve into Buddhist wisdom to explore 5 things you should never share with anyone, and why keeping them to yourself can lead to inner peace and enlightenment. Lesson 1. Financial information. Being careful is a trait that Buddhism teaches us. Financial issues are very private and sensitive, and talking about them with anyone can cause extra stress and problems. In Buddhist thought, money is not an end in itself, but a means to an end. The Buddha taught that being attached to material things can make you suffer. When we give out too much of our financial information, we leave ourselves open to being used, envious, or even hurt. This can mess up our mental peace and cause karma problems that aren't necessary. We keep control of our resources and lower the risk of outside interference by keeping our financial issues private. Being smart is what this practice is all about, not being sneaky. It's about knowing how money works and how it changes our relationships and lives. The wise man guards his wealth, but does not hoard it, says the Dhammapada. He uses it without any connection to get something out of it for himself or others. Sharing financial information can also make relationships less stable. Friends and family may feel jealous, misunderstood, or even angry because of it. We can avoid these problems and keep the peace in our relationships by keeping our money issues private. We can feel safe and independent when we keep our financial information private. It tells us to trust our own judgment and experience instead of looking for support or validation from other people. This fits with the Buddhist teaching of self-reliance, which says we should be our own safe place and not count on other people to make us feel good about ourselves or safe. This information should only be shared with close family members or trusted advisors who want what's best for us. It also means being careful about talking about our money problems or wins with other people in public, where it could be misunderstood or used in a bad way. The Buddhist ideas of wisdom, self-reliance, and non-attachment are in line with how we handle our money when we use judgment. This not only keeps us safe from harm, but it also makes us feel calm and safe inside. Remember that in Buddhism, true wealth is not measured by what we own, but by how rich our inner life is and how much we learn about spirituality. Lesson 2. Your weaknesses and insecurities. Each and every person is a complicated web of skills and weaknesses. Though they stay secret, our weaknesses and insecurities are the threads that make up the big picture of our lives. According to Buddhist thought, realizing and accepting these weaknesses is a very important step on the way to freedom. It can be tempting to share our flaws and fears. By putting our problems on other people, we may be looking for approval, help, or just a sense of ease. But these kinds of actions can have effects that were not meant. When we show how weak we are, we change the balance of power. This means that other people can use our flaws against us, whether we mean to or not. Sharing our fears can make us talk badly to ourselves more often. It seems like our flaws define us more the more we think about them. Buddhism stresses how important it is to be kind to yourself. Instead of focusing on our flaws, we should learn to be kind and understanding to ourselves. As part of the Noble Eightfold Path, Buddha stressed the idea of right speech. Being honest, kind, and thoughtful are all parts of right speech. It also means knowing when to speak up and when to keep quiet. When we talk about our weaknesses and fears without giving them a lot of thought, it can lead to misunderstandings, judgments, and even manipulation. When we talk about our fears, we show who we are at our weakest. Someone else could use this knowledge against us, which would cause us more pain and suffering. We keep our mental and emotional health safe by using our common sense. This doesn't mean we should hold our thoughts inside or not ask for help. Instead, it means we should be smart about who we confide in and only share our weak spots with people who have won our trust by showing empathy and understanding. Mindfulness is a Buddhist teaching that tells us to be aware of our thoughts and feelings without letting them take over our lives. Being mindful lets us see our flaws and fears without judging them or feeling like we have to tell everyone about them. Being self-aware helps us see our weaknesses and deal with them in a healthy way. In addition, Buddhism teaches the idea of changelessness. Weaknesses and fears are not permanent parts of who we are. They are short-lived and can change. Realizing that things change over time helps us approach them with a sense of calm and distance. Sharing them with everyone can make them stick with us even more, making us feel like our fears define us. We give ourselves room to grow and change by keeping them secret. To put this into practice, it means being picky about who we tell about our weaknesses. We can get the help and support we need from trusted friends, family, or trained counselors. These people can help us deal with our fears without judging us and with kindness. On the other hand, telling casual friends or the public about our weaknesses can have effects we didn't mean. When we choose carefully who we tell our secrets to, we protect our mental and emotional health and make room for growth and healing. Remember that our flaws do not make us who we are. They are a normal part of being human, and if we are aware of them, they can become chances to grow and change. Lesson 3. Long-term goals and dreams. The human spirit is naturally driven to achieve things. We like to think about a better future, make plans, and go after our dreams. These goals give us drive and a sense of meaning. But telling other people about our long-term hopes and dreams can be tricky. On the one hand, telling other people about our goals can inspire and motivate us. People may inspire, help, and hold us accountable. But letting too many people know about our dreams can also bring about uncertainty and negativity. People may not believe in our goals or be interested in them because they are not achievable or useful to them. Sharing our long-term goals can put too much pressure on ourselves. People expect us to follow through with our plans when they know about them. This can make us feel let down or like we failed if things go wrong. From a Buddhist point of view, pain comes from being attached to results. Even though it's normal to have hopes and dreams, it's important to keep your distance from the results. It is possible to feel more peaceful and satisfied if we focus on the trip rather than the end goal. If we share them with the wrong people, it could get in the way of our progress. Instead of looking for approval from other people, we should work on being self-motivated and strong. Long-term goals and dreams are very specific and often show what we really want and what we most aspire to. These are the future's seeds, and like all plants, they need a safe place to grow. When we talk about our goals and dreams too soon, they can be affected by negative thoughts and setbacks. Our intentions have a big impact on what we do and, in the end, what happens to us. We might lose focus on our long-term goals and dreams when we tell other people about them. Others may cast their doubts, fears, or even jealousy onto our goals, which can make us less determined and less likely to succeed. Another important Buddhist concept is wise effort, which means putting our energy into good and helpful things. It takes concentration, resolve, and persistence. We can stay focused and use our energy more effectively when we don't tell other people about our long-term goals and dreams. This privacy lets us work on our goals without being interrupted or harmed by outside forces. There is also the idea of right speech to consider here. Speaking the truth and carefully is part of right speech. Knowing when to speak and when to be quiet is also part of right speech. We practice right speech by making sure that our words and plans are in line with our highest values and goals, by keeping our long-term goals and dreams to ourselves. Sharing our hopes and dreams too soon can also lead to sadness and loss of faith. When people criticize us or don't back us up, we might start to question our skills and abilities. This can make us feel like we failed before we even start our trip. By not telling other people about our goals, we keep them safe from criticism and give them time to grow and thrive. In real life, this means building up your inner power and ability to rely on yourself. It means having faith in our own idea and ourselves, even if other people don't understand or agree with it. Self-trust is a way to find safety inside, which is one of the most important ideas in Buddhism. We become stronger and more sure of our abilities to reach our goals when we make ourselves our own safe place. By cultivating our goals in a safe space, we let them grow and develop without any outside influence. Focusing on this practice helps us stay focused, make our resolve stronger, and reach our greatest goals. Don't forget that our dreams are holy and should be treated with the greatest care and respect. Lesson 4. Embarrassing mistakes. People will always make mistakes and go in the wrong direction. In order to learn, we have to make mistakes, but sometimes they can be painful and make us feel bad. When you look at Buddhist thought, mistakes are seen as chances to learn and grow. It can be tempting to share embarrassing mistakes. Some of us may try to feel better by making other people feel bad for us. But this can have effects that were not meant to happen. Sharing our mistakes can leave a lasting effect, and people may remember them more than our successes. Sharing awkward stories can make you talk badly to yourself even more. We could lose sight of our strengths and successes if we only think about what we've done wrong. Buddhism stresses how important it is to be kind to yourself and forgive others. We shouldn't keep thinking about the mistakes we've made. Instead, we should learn from them and move on. We need to keep our image safe. Telling embarrassing stories can hurt our reputation and stop us from growing as people and in our careers. We can keep a good reputation and make relationships better by not telling other people about our mistakes. Making embarrassing mistakes is a normal part of being human. They tell us that we are flawed and prone to mistakes. On the other hand, telling everyone about these mistakes can cause shame, criticism, and even abuse. Buddhism teaches us to be thoughtful and kind when we make mistakes instead of telling everyone about them. Being mindful means paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without judging them. Mindfulness helps us accept our mistakes, figure out why we did what we did, and learn from them. We can safely think about ourselves and grow when we don't talk about our embarrassing mistakes with other people. This privacy lets us deal with our mistakes without criticism or pressure from other people. Another important idea in Buddhism is wisdom, which means knowing the truth about the world and making choices that are good for us and other people. When it comes to our mistakes, understanding helps us figure out when and who to tell. It can be helpful to learn from our embarrassing mistakes when we tell kind and understanding people about them. But telling people who might judge or make fun of us about them can make our pain worse. As part of the Noble Eightfold Path, right speech means speaking in ways that are honest, kind, and helpful. When it comes to our embarrassing slip-ups, right speech means being honest with ourselves and others and being aware of how our words affect others. Realizing that not all facts need to be told to everyone is part of it. Friends, teachers, or therapists we trust can give us the support and new perspectives we need to learn from our mistakes and grow. When we talk about our mistakes in a safe and encouraging space, we can get helpful feedback and support. On the other hand, telling people about our mistakes who might not want the best for us can have bad results. We can keep our pride and honor by not telling anyone about our embarrassing mistakes. It helps us remember that our mistakes don't make us who we are, and that we can learn from them and get better. Buddhist teachings about non-attachment say that we should not hold on to our mistakes and instead look at them with calmness. This practice is in line with these teachings. Because we choose carefully who we tell, we protect our mental and emotional health and make room for self-compassion and personal growth. Remember that mistakes are chances to learn and grow, so we should be aware and careful when we make them. Lesson 5. Intimate details of your relationships. Relationships between people are complicated and have many sides. Sharing personal information about our relationships can be tempting because it makes us feel closer to other people. But giving out too much personal information can lead to things you didn't mean. People can take advantage of our weakness when we talk about private parts of our relationships. This knowledge could be used against us or to trick us. Sharing private details can also hurt our relationships with others. When we let other people into our private life, we run the risk of mistakes and fights. We should treat our relationships with respect and care because they are holy. When we tell other people private things about our relationships, it can hurt the trust and privacy that are necessary for healthy, happy relationships. Buddhism teaches us to be aware and respectful in our relationships and to know how important privacy and secrecy are. Respect is one of the most important ideas in Buddhism. It means respecting our own and other people's worth and humanity. When it comes to our relationships, respect means appreciating the space and trust we have with our partners. We show respect for our partners and the sacred bond we share by keeping the personal parts of our partnership secret. As part of the Noble Eightfold Path, right speech means being honest, kind, and thoughtful when you talk. When it comes to the private parts of our relationships, right speech means being aware of how our words affect other people. When people share private information, it can cause confusion, judgment, and even harm. We protect our relationships and make sure that what we say is in line with our values by not sharing these facts. Another important Buddhist principle is wise conduct, which means acting in ways that support peace and well-being. When it comes to our relationships, being smart means being aware of how our actions affect our partners. Sharing private information with others can lead to unnecessary stress and conflict, which can hurt the trust and harmony in our relationships. By keeping these things from each other, we make sure that our relationships are safe and polite. Trusted friends or professionals can offer helpful support and a different point of view, but it's important to be careful about what we say to protect our partner's privacy. When you share personal information with anyone, especially in public or social settings, it can cause harm and confusion. We can build a stronger bond of trust and closeness with our partners if we keep the personal parts of our partnership secret. This helps us remember that each relationship is special and should be treated with care and respect. This practice fits with the Buddhist message of loving kindness, which says we should treat others with kindness and understanding. We can protect our privacy and trust, which are important for good and happy relationships, by being careful about what we share and with whom. Remember that the people we love are holy connections that should be treated with the greatest care and respect. The teachings of Buddhism give you deep knowledge and useful tips for living a happy and peaceful life. By being careful and thoughtful about how we share our weaknesses and insecurities, long-term goals and dreams, embarrassing mistakes, and personal information about our relationships, we live by the principles of wisdom, respect, and self-compassion. These lessons not only keep us safe from harm, but they also give us a sense of inner peace and security, which helps us handle the challenges of modern life with calm and ease. Remember that the best way to be wise is to know when to speak up and when to be quiet, and to treat yourself and others with the greatest care and respect.